Another thing that happens when you begin to love yourself is you start to do the things that you need to do in your life. You stop putting it to the side and you start putting it to the front. I'm gonna repeat that one more time. When you begin to love yourself, you begin to do the things that you know you need to do in your life. You stop putting it to the side and you begin to put it to the front. So when you hate yourself, what do? You eat whatever, you drink whatever, you say whatever, but when you love yourself, you become a whole new person, man. You start to do things differently. You start to be more mature. We got to keep in mind that when we begin to love ourselves, we begin to make better decisions for our life. Loving yourself is not an option. It's something that you have to do. There's a lot of benefits to doing that. See, when you begin to love yourself, you don't tolerate disrespect from anybody. You only want to be around people that uplift you, inspire you, want the best for you, want you to be purpose-driven, want you to reach your goals and dreams. When you begin to love yourself, you begin to invest in yourself in ways that will make you a better human being. You begin to invest in you. You begin to invest your time into things that are important. When you begin to love yourself, you begin to vibrate higher. Vibrate higher just means you have more positive energy around you. Your aura is more positive. Your spirit is more clean. You have a light heart. You begin to forgive others, and you begin to forgive yourself for your past transgressions. So loving yourself is very important. It's part of how we heal as men, and we have a lot of trauma, right? We have a lot of things that we have gone through in this life, a lot of ups and downs. But when you love yourself, that's part of the process. And it's important to know that, you're not beyond being fixed. You're not beyond help. You can get better. You will get better. Your life will improve. But in order to believe in those things, you got to love yourself. You got to believe in yourself. And when you love yourself, what begins to happen is the people around you begin to feed off of that. They begin to get inspired by you. They begin to feel that energy. They begin to transform as well. They begin to love themselves as well. Sometimes we look for a leader, but the leader we've been looking for this whole time is us. And we got to lead ourselves, man, because nobody can love us for us. When you begin to love yourself, you start to recognize that that is the most important step into loving others. More important, they always ask, what's 3 more important words than I love you? The answer is simple. I love me. And because I love me, I'm able to love you. Because I love myself, I'm able to have the capacity to love somebody else. Because I love myself, I'm able to love others. So you got to love yourself first. You got to love yourself first. And remember, you're made in God's image. So being able to love yourself is being able to love God. Being able to love yourself means accepting who you are and understanding that this is who God made you to be. So when you love yourself, you accept yourself and you love yourself. And that also means you love the person that created you. You love God as well. So it's an important thing to do. Another thing that happens when you begin to love yourself is you start to do the things that you need to do in your life. You stop putting it to the side and you start putting it to the front. I'm gonna repeat that one more time. When you begin to love yourself, you begin to do the things that you know you need to do in your life. You stop putting it to the side and you begin to put it to the front. You bring it to the front of the altar and you say, okay, how am I going to utilize this to move me forward? I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to work out. I'm going to go on that mile run. I'm going to eat healthier. I'm going to be better. Why does this begin to happen? It begins to happen naturally because you understand that your body is your temple. You start to understand that if you love yourself, you're only going to do things out of love. If you love yourself, why wouldn't you give yourself the best food possible? If you love yourself, why wouldn't you work out so you could be healthy? If you love yourself, why wouldn't you give yourself the best chance to succeed? If you love yourself, why wouldn't you be disciplined? See, discipline is loving yourself. Self-discipline is loving yourself. Having discipline is self-love. So when you begin to have love, you begin to have discipline, you begin to have consistency, and you begin to what? You begin to show up for yourself. And there's a lot of guys, they haven't shown up for themselves. They can show up for everybody else. They can show up for their friends. They can show up for their peers. They can show up for their loved ones. They can show up for their family. But they haven't shown up for them. They haven't shown up for themselves. And when you begin to be purpose-driven and you begin to love yourself, you begin to show up for yourself. You begin to show up for yourself. Now you're starting to go to the gym. Now you're starting to take exercise serious. Now you're starting to take your goals serious. Now you're starting to take your dreams serious. Now you're starting to do everything that you know that you should have been doing. And it's never too late to get it right. It's never too late to start. It's never too late. But you got to start now. You know, you got to start now. And what's going to keep you consistent is, again, loving yourself. And part of loving yourself is accepting yourself. Accepting who you are. Your good, your bad, your ugly. All that. The flaws that you have. The scars that you have. You got to accept all of that. The things that you've done in the past. The people you hurt. Most importantly, you probably hurt yourself more than you hurt anybody else. You got to forgive yourself. You got to accept that. And then after you accept something, then you're able to change it and make it better and transform the ugly into something beautiful. You go out into the world, you make mistakes, you fall short, you have ups and downs. But what's also part of you is you getting back up and you being able to evolve and saying, I can be better. And that takes self-love. And the third thing that starts to happen, you know, you begin to interact with the world very differently. If they're being negative towards you, if people are being negative towards you, when you begin to love yourself, you start to see the silver lining in things. You don't take things personally because you love yourself. You set those boundaries. You understand that you're going to stand up for yourself. You're going to defend yourself, respect yourself, and you're going to cut people off if you have to. You know, when you love yourself, you begin to prioritize your peace and everything that comes with that. You know, life is all about being at peace. We'll have ups and downs. We'll have hard times. We'll be struggling, but we have to prioritize our peace. We got to prioritize our mind. We got to take care of ourselves. Because remember, if we don't take care of ourselves, then nobody's going to take care of us. Can't nobody take care of us. We got to be the ones to take care of us. Can't nobody love us. We got to be the ones to love us. So when we begin to love ourselves and we begin to show up for ourselves, that's when you start to make the most progress in your life. Because you actually there for you. When's the last time you was there for yourself? You got to show up for yourself every day, man. Every day. When you love yourself, you begin to learn more about yourself. You begin to understand what your worth is, what your value is, which is infinite. And that's why you don't put up with disrespect. That's why you setting boundaries all of a sudden. That's why you start believing in yourself so much. You start to realize who you was created to be. You wasn't created to be normal. You wasn't created to be average. Once you start to love yourself, you start to tap into something bigger than you. You start to tap into all the infinite possibilities that you can do. Any dreams you got, you start to believe in that more. You start to believe in your goals more. You start to believe that you can actually make it happen. You know, right now, man, it's just me and God, and we going at it. We going at it. Me and God, we locked in. We locked in, me and God, we focused. And I love myself, so I know I can make it happen. So when you hate yourself, what do? You eat whatever, you drink whatever, you say whatever, you know. But when you love yourself, you become a whole new person, man. You start to do things differently. You start to be more mature. You start to have more maturity. You know, something happened to me today, man. It was, you know, kind of heartbreaking, man. I ain't gonna lie. You know, somebody I know for about 4 years, you know, he messaged me yesterday, and he wanted me to share something on my story about something that had happened to him. And, you know, it's sad what happened to him. It happens to a lot of people though, but it's sad what happened to him. I won't go into detail, but I didn't see it because I was working, dropped a video. You know, I don't always check my DMs every single day. I try to, you know, block out time. So I check my DMs today. I checked it this afternoon. And I was responding to some of y'all, responding to some people who reach out to me on Instagram and stuff like that. And he reached out to me on IG. I think he got my personal number. He could have reached out to me through there, but, you know, he reached out to me through socials. And, you know, everybody reach out to me through socials. You know, if you really want to get in contact with me, I thought he would have reached out to me through number if it's an emergency. But he just wanted me to reshare something that he went through. And I told him this morning, I said, yo, this is my first time seeing this. You know, and the reason I said that was because he posted our conversation on his Instagram story. And he was like, yo, you're not going to support me? You're not going to repost this? I'm like, bro, I'm just not seeing this. And so when he tagged me, that's when I saw it. I'm like, I'm just not seeing this. Like, I'm sorry this happened to you. let me see if I could email some people and see what we can do. Like, let me see what, how we could fix the problem. And he responds to me and he's like, there's no way to fix it. Essentially, like, and then he was like, I don't need your help no more, whatever. And I guess he just wanted me to share it. And he, started talking bad about me, man, and being negative. And, it's sad. And I'm just watching the messages come in real time, real life. Like right now, I didn't block him. He unfollowed me and he removed me as a follower. I didn't do nothing. I didn't block him. I didn't do none of that. I just let him do it. I just let him talk, and it's sad. I've known him for 4 years. I wish him the best. I pray God blesses him. And I had to turn the other cheek. I don't got nothing bad to say. There's nothing that nobody can do to hurt me. I'm just sad for him. Because I could tell that he's hurting. I'm sad for him. I'm disappointed for him. I'm heartbroken for him. And it shows how hurt he is that he's trying to hurt me. That shows how hurt he actually is. This is what happens when you begin to love yourself. You start to live more like Christ did. You start to forgive. You start to turn the other cheek. You start to make better decisions. You start to put your ego aside. Instead of saying, oh, you're attacking me, I'm starting to see, no, he's really hurt. And I'm going to pray for him tonight because I could tell he's really hurt. And I forgive him for what he has already done. And I forgive him for what he may continue to do. And the hurt that he might continue to spread to me, I forgive him. If it continues, though, I got to set boundaries and have my own peace. And I might need to just block him. But, I don't like to do things like that because you can't throw people away. People are people, but you also can't disrespect people. You can't disrespect me. And I messaged him before he started saying bad things or starting to, try to make me upset. I said, I just saw this message. I just saw what you wanted me to post. I want to see if we could find a solution to this problem. And I also told him, I said, hey, brother, like, I'm disappointed that you leaked our messages. And I'm also disappointed that you think that I wouldn't be on your side on this. Like, why would you think that I wouldn't support you on this? For you to at me and leak my messages, and that we share. And he put in quotations, basically you're not a real friend. And I just let him keep saying hurtful things. And it's like, you don't even check up on me like that, bro. You want to talk about friendship. But again, I forgive. You don't know what I've been through. I've been through a lot too. But because my life may look good on the surface, because you don't know me, you haven't really checked up on me, you don't think I'm struggling. I've struggled a lot, especially last year, 2023. I've struggled a lot, and it took a lot of strength for me to get to where I'm at right now. So I don't like when people think that they're the only ones hurting. But because I've been hurt before, because I know betrayal, because I've been there before, I can understand his position and I can forgive him. This is what loving yourself do, man. It changes your whole everything, your energy, how you think, your mindset, your consciousness. And you start to, you just start to become a better human being once you start loving yourself. Everything changes. And it doesn't mean I'm gonna be perfect, but it does mean I'm on that path to being the best version of myself, and I'm happy to see it. And loving myself has definitely got me there, and I hope that you guys experience this as well. So begin to love yourself. Begin to understand that God made you in his image. Begin to understand that you are amazing. You are connected to God, which means that you are connected to the most infinite, and you can accomplish anything you put your mind to. Your value can't be capped. Nobody could put a price tag on you. You know, I love you guys a lot, and I'm able to say that because I love myself. All right, peace, shalom, God bless you.